The ethos of Otagaya was no compromise on values, on ethics, on sustainability, on flavor, on taste, look and feel, everything. I mean, values overall as a business. We wanted to source better. We want to obviously over time reduce plastic. These small things make a big impact. I was looking for a head chef. I couldn't find a single woman. All I found women who were senior chefs, and then they dropped out to either take care of family or they had some other obligation. And I wanted to build a business that also gave women opportunities to grow in the hospitality and F&B space without other challenges that they face. Like I've heard so many horror stories of women being mistreated, harassed and abused, and you can't go home late, they can't stay overnight in a hotel night shifts.
You started with 0 employees. Today you have
21 to 22.
Oh my god, a success story right there. Like, I hope you take a step back and you actually let the sun shine on you a bit.
I have to do that. Sometimes I need to really realize that I am living 2020 Naimita's dream. Now, whatever we're doing, all the challenges we're facing, we're like, okay, I want this to stop. How do I fix this? But these are the challenges you wished for. I wanted a bigger team. I wanted larger orders, a bigger kitchen. I wanted all of these things. And now that I've got them, my first thought is, okay, what next?
The snippets you just saw were from part 1 of a 2-part series with Naimita, founder of Gaia. If you want to watch part 1 before delving into part 2, then click on the link in our description box. In part 2 of our series with her, we delve into 2 important topics. 1, how to integrate sustainability seamlessly into your business's supply chain. And 2, how to stay true to oneself on this daunting task of starting a new company and then continuing it to become a success story. To all my new entrepreneurs and business owners out there, Naimita is dropping pearls of wisdom all throughout this episode and especially towards the end, so stay tuned. As always, like, comment, share and subscribe because your engagement helps us make more educational and fun sustainability content. And of course, to show my solidarity with Gaia and Naimita, I am also in pink. Naimita's episode starting right now. Coming back to a little bit specifically about Gaia, all your packaging is pink. Packaging, your pictures, the aesthetic is pink. I want to know why.
I love pink. When I was a kid, I was playing with Barbies and all of that. And then, you know how people just make fun of you for being girly and all of that? Definitely. And in my subconscious, I was like, you know what? Because I'm a girl, I shouldn't like pink. I should try other colors. I shouldn't be like this. And I was not being my authentic true self. And pink is such a happy color.
I agree.
It's such a happy, bright, fresh color that just wakes you up. Kind of like a sunflower. I love sunflowers, they're my favorite flowers, and they're not pink. So I really enjoy the color because there's so many shades of pink and they make you feel, and it's the color of love, right? Yeah. Why do you want to hide from that? Now I'm kind of over the baby pink because every single patisserie is baby pink now. I wouldn't take any names. So I have, we're actually doing a rebrand.
Oh my god, is this like an exclusive?
This is an exclusive. We are doing a rebrand which we will be launching hopefully in the next 1 month.
Okay.
There is baby pink, but there is a hot Barbie pink. There's a red and there's a beige.
Oh.
The most basic, but the beige and hot pink go so well together.
I'm so excited to see this.
Yes, I'm really excited to expand the color palette and go beyond the basic pink that every patisserie has in the world actually. And you don't see patisseries with loud colors. You see them with pastel colors, and I'm loud. I want to be loud. I want us to be loud as a bakery. So I hope this branding and everything is well received and says what I wanted to say.
But that's awesome and best of luck. So now that we're on that topic, which is a very big topic, I think this is again from personal experience. A lot of brands, when we're starting out, we're like so overwhelmed. Okay, first of all, we're 0. We have a team of 0. Okay, so we're like, okay, we have to get operations, we have to do this, we have to do that. So branding and things like that usually get left behind. Take me through how easy or difficult it was from 2018 to today in terms of...
Good question. So when I first started, I think a lot of people who worked with me or who saw me kind of building this incredible brand saw the potential, but they also at the same time saw a vulnerable founder who has no idea what she was doing. Her vision is grand, it's great, but she doesn't know how to get there. Yeah. And I've experienced that with so many other female founders. We have a network of young female founders and of non-pastry things, but also pastry. And I have a huge network of pastry chefs that we kind of help and support each other. You know, one of them will call me and say, I need 20 kgs of meza right now, you have some. So we built that community. And all of us have the same thing to say that, oh yeah, when I started out, you know, I got so exploited by like a consultant or a, you know, some packaging guy or some vendor fleeced me. Because we didn't know. I'm sure that happens to every kind of founder when you start. But I think I got pretty fleeced. And when I first started out, my branding was designed by my aunt. I really was happy with it. But again, it was very like amateur, it was young. It was something that I didn't know how to encapsulate my entire vision. Then I worked with a solo founder of a company to redesign the current packaging that we have. While it is a nice boutique patisserie kind of packaging, it just wasn't able. We weren't able to translate the bigger picture into that packaging. The picture of sustainability, of ethics, you know, the kind of business we're building, the overall collaterals. None of that was being translated, and I think now finally I've understood what I want to say, not just through my packaging but overall brand, which is why we're working with a woman who understands it. I guess I've said this so many times, but it's so, I think guys will never understand, you know, working with a woman who just understands you is so different from working with men. And there are so many amazing male founders, artists, you know, packaging designers, all of that. But in my experience, there's just been something missing in that. And you know, working with women is just so fulfilling and so, and it's all of us have gone through the same challenges, the same hiccups, the same roadblocks, the same hurdles. So we understand each other on a cosmic level that no one else can. You know, you don't have to say anything; it's just understood.
Right.
So over time, you know, we've understood what the brand needs and what we need to communicate through our branding and packaging. You know, it's nice to have logos with flowers and all of that. It's very boutique. It's very, I'm a small patisserie. I'm a small, you know, one-stop shop.
Small business, home-ish.
Till today, people ask me, oh, you make all this at home? Yeah, me and all my 21 people, we sit at my house and make this. You would never ask a man, oh, so you know, run your business from home. You would never ask a man.
Oh my God, it is one of my questions to like in the challenges series. But yes, I'm so happy you brought that up. Like everything we want to do is like, oh, Acha, this is your hobby. So what are you really doing? Like,
yeah, what do you really do? So you make cakes? Yeah, I make cakes. I sell thousands of them.
Seriously, like it's so it is disheartening. I'm not gonna lie, and it's really so annoying. Yeah.
After 5 years, you really think of saying I'm making this, and they know. You know, and so many of my family, extended family and stuff, they tell my mom, you know, I saw her in a newspaper, I saw her in a magazine. You must be going crazy, you know, you can't use your kitchen. She's doing all of this from home. And my mom was like, no, she's not. Like, my mom also gets insulted because she has seen my blood, sweat and tears in building this kitchen and all of that, you know. You never actually see anyone say this to a guy who's founded a business.
No, I totally agree. When you start, you have no idea, right? Like, okay, is it a small thing? You start small. You have to start somewhere.
Have a grand vision.
Yeah, obviously you have a vision. Okay, I can't run this business from home. Like, I have 1,500 to 2,000 products. Can I keep that at home? I mean, not going to lie, there was a time when I had in my room, I made my room
an inventory.
like a shop. I have had customers because they were like, no, we need it now. I have had people come to my house, enter my room and actually browse like it's a shop. Wow.
You are that a success story.
It really, I don't know, nothing compared to you, of course, but you know, you have to start somewhere, but then people still, you know, will end up saying a lot of trash. So you got to listen to whatever you have to and then either react or prove them wrong in your own way, which you have done successfully. A question that I think me and maybe I assume many other people also have. No, it's a very simple one. Don't worry. Is about the name An Ode to Gaia. Tell me about that.
So we're definitely dropping the An and keeping it just Ode to Gaia now. Okay. Branding. But when I started this patisserie, I knew it has to be a few things. It has to be honest towards the people who are buying, towards the planet, the animals, and myself. I really wanted something for the earth, right? For Gaia.
Yeah.
Gaia is such a beautiful name. Gaia is the goddess of the earth in Greek mythology. And an ode, it's simple English. An ode is a poem or a dedication to someone, a love story or a romantic poem or a dedication to somebody or something where you're saying, I'm doing this for you. And Gaia is, I am doing this for the earth, right? It's my form of activism. I used to do this. I used to go for these, anonymous for the voiceless and on these video scaring people things. And when I first entered the vegan community, and it really scared me because you're going on the road and telling all these truck drivers and rickshaw drivers that, yeah, you can make almond milk at home, idli grinder mein dalo. He's not going to do that. And where is he going to get almonds from? So there was no nuanced understanding of who your TG is. If you want people to actually go vegan, you have to start from the top down. You can't just start from the people who are the poorest and struggling, because their impact is the least, right? The richer you are, the higher your impact on a ecological footprint and animal agriculture kind of way.
Definitely.
So why am targeting a rickshaw driver or a taxi driver? That was so messed up. I remember this happened on Carter Road and I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this. And I wanted to perform some kind of activism, but in a very healthy way, where I wanted people to see veganism as a beautiful, beautiful lifestyle. It can be. It can also be really toxic, it can be really messed up, and it can be very dangerous if not done correctly. But that's with any lifestyle.
Yeah, of course.
You could be eating like bags and bags of butter and bacon every day and call it the carnivore diet. Somewhere down like
something's got to give. Yes, 100%.
So every diet and every lifestyle is unique in its own way and can be dangerous or healthy. And I think veganism is one of those. And my form of activism was to start a patisserie that's so delicious, so beautiful, and so desirable, and challenging things like, having a woman-only team, not now, but at least trying to have more women on the team, sourcing sustainably. We use certified fair trade, cocoa butter to make our own vegan white chocolate. We source so many ingredients as sustainably as we can. Obviously, sustainability and ethics are they're very, subjective. We do the best we can. And I wanted my brand to be, to say that, to just emulate my beliefs. And it is, Ode to Gaia is my ode to Gaia. It is my way of telling the earth that I'm doing this for you. Then my way of telling the animals that I'm doing this for you.
Okay.
My form of activism.
Yeah, I think that's very poetic.
It is nobody understands it, but it's okay. As long as I do, that's
also a poem after all. No, I completely understand it. I mean, a lot of the brands, especially the ones that are on this podcast, are all, doing, whether small, whether medium, whether large, they're all taking steps, however small, in that direction to, as their own ode, you can say, to the planet. So, yeah, I totally, completely get it. And I love the story behind the brand name. Let's get into the, you spoke, I think, sustainable sourcing's come up a couple of times. Yeah. So, and I've also read your website where you're so transparent, like, you want to say, okay, this ingredient, if I'm not wrong, you've mentioned the name of the vendor also?
Yes. So someone else can also use those vendors.
So what was I know you've already said that you'd like to be sustainable, so you've done that, but was that a challenge in making these beautiful products?
In the name of transparency, 100% yes, it was extremely difficult. We were using unbleached maida. We were sourcing some wheat that was from some small Adivasi village in God knows where, and they've been maintaining that grain for some thousands of years. And only that village was growing that type of wheat.
Okay.
So we were trying to, we sourced that for some time. We did some trials. It tasted amazing. The chocolate, chocolate and cacao, it is one of the worst industries in the world.
Yes.
With maximum child labor and slavery.
Yeah.
And abuse of women and low pay and all of that. And I just did not want to be part of that industry. How can you say this is your ode to Gaia and you're a vegan brand? Veganism means everybody. We are also animals.
Yeah.
Veganism is for everybody, and that includes the people who are left out of the conversation of food safety and all of that. So I wanted to use certified fair trade chocolate, which I wasn't able to source in India, but we do source directly from farmers. We were buying the nibs and actually grinding our own chocolate, but at scale that was not possible because I didn't have a chocolate kitchen. Mine was a pastry and bakery kitchen, so temperatures and all of that matter. So we started buying the chocolate directly from those farmers. Then we found a brand called All Things Chocolate that sources the cacao beans from these farmer collectives in the south, in Kerala and stuff. And they use that to make refined sugar-free chocolate for us and of course for their like other customers. And then we found Biscotti. I'm naming all the brands, hoping people will start using them.
love the transparency.
So we found the Biscotti. And they're the only ones in India who have a fair trade association certificate. Yes. So we buy cocoa butter from them to make our own vegan white chocolate.
Lovely.
Then we were buying cashew from a small farmer in I think Goa or somewhere, I can't recall now, but we used to buy cashews directly from her. Now we don't, because we've changed our recipe, we don't use so much cashew. But we used to buy that cashew directly from her and then make our white chocolate with that. So, it was a lot more expensive, sometimes 200, 300, 400 rupees per kilo more, or sometimes double. And in the name of transparency, we did stop buying some of the ingredients, not the chocolate for sure, but the oil and we used to buy like naturally pressed, or I don't know what, oil that was coming directly from one's farm in somewhere up north. And we couldn't afford, like our customers weren't able to afford that. That makes sense.
Of course.
If it's a whole cycle, your customer has to pay, let's say 1,000 rupees versus 600 rupees for a cake. They are paying 1,000 rupees. That 1,000 rupees, the extra 400 goes towards paying these artisans and small farmers and the logistics of buying in small quantities and paying better wages to your employees versus, like the hotel industry. I remember one girl came to us. This again is part of the sustainability. I want holistic sustainability. This girl came to us, this woman came to us for a chocolate job. This was when I was in my garage, 2019. And she's like, I'm getting a job at a hotel, won't name it. And she's like, they're paying me, they're not paying me what I, like a living thing, I would like a better salary. And I would love to work here. I really like her values. I would love to be part of an all-women team. And like, okay, what are your expectations? She's like, they are paying me 7,000 rupees a month.
Oh my God.
Can I get like a bit more than that? And I was like, what? 7,000 a month? And it wasn't even an internship. It was like a fresher pay. And then,
oh my God, and this is a proper hotel.
And this is what they pay to like first timers, who've just graduated. College costs money. How can you pay someone 7,000? You might as well beg on the street and earn more. And she then said, then I started interviewing. I started contacting pastry schools and all of that to get more chefs. And they were like, yeah, we're making 12,000 here. What's your pay? And I'm like, oh, we're starting at 20. And they're like, okay, can I join? We tried to do better in every way, and it was not cheap. It was not possible to be so small as a business and just starting out and have all these values. Because customers like, why should I pay you more? I mean, you tell them all this, like, yeah, that's great, but I don't give a shit.
It's going out of my pocket. You be sustainable on the side.
That's how it works. Like we all live on the same planet. I'm doing something, so you also breathe better air and eat better food. And on the one hand, people are like farmers, go bachao, and all of that. Like kisan, pocha, all of those things are happening where people are like, farmers deserve to be treated better. Then pay fair wages and support businesses like this who are doing more for these farmers. It was the irony is obviously not lost on me. However, this year, I am dedicating time to completely changing my supply chain. I've got a bunch of vendors that we used to work with and new ones that I have come up over the last 2 years. And my goal by the end of this year is to completely sustainable I don't want to say.
No, but I got it. You want to get it, like, it's already at a great level, but you want to take it.
I want to take it up a notch or 10 notches up. I really want to put in their effort to do this for Gaia.
Yeah.
Why we started, I want to get back to the why and the who is Gaia first before anybody.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to that, and like the original question, sourcing and stuff, it's very hard, and I think I will obviously document this entire process, put it on my blog, on our website, on social media, so people can see how it's done and hopefully be able to do this. I would love to connect entrepreneurs and founders and chefs and restaurants with these people I have found and discovered.
Yeah.
So they can also source like that. The price will come down and the farmers.
Yeah, it's like it's demand supply, right?
It's win-win for everybody.
So I totally agree. I mean, I think it's beautiful. I feel like this podcast is like a fangirling over Naimita. I think I'm gonna rename it that, because like every second statement you're saying is resonating so deeply with me, and I'm sure it's gonna resonate. It is going to resonate with people that are listening and who are so scared to take that first step. Okay, fine, I became an entrepreneur, but I want to be more sustainable. What do I do? Yeah. So I'm really hoping that people actually listen, and please do share, if you, like you said, on your blog, or you're going to put posts. I love reading even the captions that you put under your the post that you personally or your brand put. I think you're providing, I mean, all of these real coaches and all the shit that they say, you are actually following it without being, if I could say so, a weirdo. Like, you're providing value in almost like every post that you put out.
I get how hard it is. I wish someone told me, someone was there for me when I started, someone was there to like validate my worries and concerns and kind of help me navigate.
Yeah.
So I hope somewhere that I could be that for someone. It means a lot to me to be able to, like I said earlier, have an impact.
Yeah.
I want a legacy that matters. I don't want a legacy that's just built just about like profit and crushing people to get to the top. That makes no sense, and that doesn't make me happy. So I hope I'm able to document this in the most authentic and correct way, and be true to what we're doing.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I do want to highlight that one of the challenges was using plastic. And while I thought that we'd get a consultant on board to help with our packaging and stuff, and him and his team were meant to kind of make our packaging sustainable and plastic free. That never happened. But I realized over time that if you want to be in the food game, you can't avoid plastic. You can't. We're not there yet as a country and as a community, as a world. We're not really there yet to be so sustainable. And at least India, though, for sure it's not. So I would like somewhere to, of course, I want to be transparent to say that we do use plastic, but I would also like to say that somewhere along the road we
completely
eliminate that. If not completely, at least 50-60%, maybe more.
I completely agree with you. Back in the day, I think it was 2017-18, not sure. The Maharashtra government overnight is like, no plastic anymore. And you're like, how is that sustainable? Like, how are people whose entire livelihoods, for example, depend on that, or complete industries? Like, how are they going to run? So
exactly.
I completely get the sentiment that we're all trying, to like not do this, not do that, but it has to be, and like a sustained journey to being sustainable is what I think now.
Exactly.
Back in the day, maybe, I didn't know that much. I'm like, wow, amazing.
You've actually destroyed more than you've tried to solve, and if everyone puts their minds together to actually come up with solutions and then transition slowly out of using plastic, that would have a better impact.
100%.
And of course, there's so much education required for that. People don't understand, like spitting on the road, eating that guttka and throwing it, or your cigarette packets or anything, lighters, the amount of lighter waste there is. You are throwing it.
Yeah, it's available for like 10 rupees, 8 rupees.
Like everybody buys that lighter.
One cigarette, one lighter thrown.
So, and the cigarette packet, the cigarette butts, all of that. People they have the knowledge of that,
Even if they do, I mean.
And abroad, especially in the UK, you roll your own cigarettes with pure tobacco.
Yeah.
And it's, your paper is made of hemp or something, your roach is made of paper, all of it. decomposes and breaks down, and it's pure tobacco without any of the nasties. So if you're going to smoke, why don't we as a country encourage something like that?
I don't know if we should be encouraging smoking.
I know, but if people are going to smoke regardless. So might as well give them a better... It's like meat, right? People are going to eat meat regardless.
Yeah.
You might as well give them lab grown or plant-based, which tastes great, behaves the same way, has more protein sometimes.
Yeah.
So you're not killing the animal, and you're also getting to eat whatever meat you want to eat. It's the same logic. You're just giving them a better solution.
Yeah, I don't think I can disagree on that. That's like, it makes complete sense. You mentioned like, you're running your kitchen for an Gaia and my other brands. Please, I'm not going to follow up with a question. You know what the please means. So go ahead.
I have a parent company. It's named after my cat because obviously we all work hard for our kids to have better lives. So she is a stay-at-home daughter.
Okay.
So I named the company a year after I got her, and under that I've got another brand called Boko.
Okay.
Which is more massy bakery, specializing in donuts. My vision for that was a sort of MOD kind of thing, go with sweet and savory donuts, because Indians love their spicy, savory stuff, or as one customer called it, chatpata. So and my goal is eventually to stabilize Gaia much more, open the outlet, and then start scaling Boko. So imagine like an MOD but all vegan, or like a Theobroma but all vegan, and more massy.
Right.
So with the economies of scale, we will be able to get better rates for all our products and use better ingredients, but have a more accessible and massier, I don't know the word mass, but you get what I mean, more accessible bakery, and of course with savory products as well. Again, because there's a greater impact for veganism. I don't highlight that brand as vegan. There is no marketing that says it's vegan. But obviously it completely is and vegan.
So wait, are there any more brands or anything under wraps?
Not yet actually. I think 2 is a lot. I do have a white labeling brand where I make desserts for other like cinemas and cafes and bakeries and other businesses.
Okay.
But there's no name to it. It's just a white label. So today if you decide to open a cafe, but you don't want to make any of the desserts, and you have like a green patisserie, I can make all the desserts for you.
Okay.
And you can just brand it as your own.
I hope people are listening to that, because that's amazing. I mean,
we do it for a lot of cinemas and other cafes, bakeries.
I do know that you officially retail at CocoCart, right?
So we have our macarons at CocoCart only.
Okay.
And we are looking to partner with more bakeries and restaurants and cafes to give them to set up like an official retailer of our desserts. So that's something I'm also going to be working on this year.
Okay. I now remember the question. It is regarding the most beautiful price. So from day one, I'm sure, because I know that I still get that, with our store, like, oh, why are your products priced like this? So tell me, how was that for you? And I know, and you've said it already, that you have been priced, above the regular, let's say, but you've also given the reasoning as to your ingredients. But how has it been in a conversation with your first customer who started off by like, what the hell, to today? How has that been?
Initially, people were ready to pay that price because I was too niche, and they were like, if I want something vegan, then this is the price.
Correct.
And we were able to reach the more affluent customers because we were doing pop-ups in places like Juhu, Bandra, Northos Club, things like that. As we grew, as we scaled, we realized that, okay, we are in a very price conscious and price sensitive market. And the main question was, do we want to appeal to the masses? We are not a brand for the masses. So we are a luxury patisserie and a niche patisserie. So we're doing so many things that require it's not such a high price point. Honestly, some of our stuff is on par with like a Love 50 or a Theorema even. Some of the things. And some things have to be priced higher because they use the fair trade chocolate and all of that. Like a macaron, for example, it uses certified fair trade and organic cocoa butter to make the white chocolate, which other bakeries don't do that. So naturally, the raw material price is almost 3 times as much as a regular Monday white chocolate.
Damn.
So that's not to say that that's bad. It's just presenting the difference. So we have no choice but to be priced like that. And the effort we have taken the brand that we are building, it's not possible for us to be, creating products like this at low price points. That's why I have something like Bobo, which will be comfort, simple, basic, not, no glitter and fun. It's not going to be extra.
Yeah.
It's going to be the opposite of me. So, or opposite of Gaia.
Yeah.
So we have had customers who are like, guys are really expensive. So we gauge, obviously, does this customer want to know why or not? Then we are like, okay, happy to recommend other bakeries or happy to recommend things that are within your price point, or what's your budget, let us help you. Or buy something that you can afford. So either it's that, or customers like, why are you priced higher than different patisseries? And that gives us the opportunity to explain to them. And we had this one customer, I'll never forget, her name was Dollar. And she asked me once, why are you so expensive? And I was, I talked to customers on social media and I told her like all the reasons why. And she was like, oh my God, I'm never buying from anywhere else again.
Wow.
And she still buys from us, and I felt so happy that I was able to tell my story to somebody and it mattered to them. It matters to maybe 2% of our entire customer base, or hopefully more, but I'm gauging just 2-3% who actually care about the story. You're one of them. I think pricing is a very personal thing. You need to really understand your audience. They're always changing prices every year. I don't want to do that. Because still trying to figure out who is our consumer. Yeah. And because we get all types. So we get students or young women who are like, I've been saving up for the whole year so I can order your cake for my birthday. And she's like a first year college student. Then we have someone who like sends their drivers 10 times a day to order for like different parties and like celebrities.
Yeah.
They send their driver like, they buy a box of macarons. After 2 hours, the driver comes and मुझे और चाहिए. Madam ने खा लिया. एक और box दो. एक और. And that happens 3-4 times in a day.
Oh my God.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
So we've got all types of customers. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm still lost with pricing. What is that sweet spot?
Correct.
So I don't want to comment much on what you should price your products, but obviously you should keep in mind all your overheads, your costs, your COGS or whatever, your cost of making the product, and your profit obviously, and then whatever else is there. People don't understand or realize that all your marketing, your ads, all of that has to fit into your final selling price. It can't just be cost plus into 3, which is what a lot of bakeries have been encouraged to do. If your cost is 100, just sell it at 300 or 400. That's not really how it works. You have to do all the math.
Of course.
So it's a very personal thing.
If you had to give any young founder, or especially, as you said, you wanted to inspire women who are trying to be in this space, entrepreneurial space, what would it be?
Something I lack: patience. Have patience, because nothing good comes, overnight.
Yeah.
Unless you hit the jackpot. Nothing good comes overnight. And I think resilience, failures are, I don't ever see anything as a failure.
Yeah.
I sound like one of those sense-and gurus now. Failure is just one step closer to your goal. It's not a step back. It's actually a step closer, because now you know what not to do. And it helps you get closer to your goal. So failing is a huge part of what made me who I am, and what taught me the things like pricing, sourcing, all of the things we've discussed. All of that has taught me how to do things better the next time around. So if you don't fail, then you're probably like either really lucky or doing something wrong, because failing is part of it.
You have to, you have to fail.
Yeah. And behind every cloud is a rainbow, blah blah. That saying, it's so true. Like, your hard days are just that. They're hard days that lead you to brighter days, and all of this hard work will pay off.
Yeah.
So one thing that you said today was to actually stop and look back and tell yourself, I've done all of that, and I'm living the dream I dreamt of 2 years ago, 1 year ago, or even last week.
Yeah.
So that is also something I wish someone told me. Celebrate the small wins. Remind yourself of your entire journey. Maybe journal, write down, make a map of all your milestones, or something to remind you that what you're doing now all your failures, your wins, everything, the things that you wanted to achieve years ago, and you're living that now. So you just got to stop and recognize that. And we have started doing that now, so it got a big help.
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
You did touch upon, celebrity clients. So how has that been? I mean, I did see that you did Alana Pandey's wedding. So I saw that you did the engagement and the wedding. Or
No, we just did the engagement.
It looked
It looked amazing. It was great, but I didn't want to do the wedding because I felt like, you've tried my stuff, you've seen how good it is, and why do you want everything free?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, it was a barter. And
Okay.
we were very happy with the way the barter collaboration went. She took beautiful pictures. She looked stunning with our dessert table. Everything was color matched. It was beautiful. But I feel like, we in the next time around, if you want to do it again with us, then we would have liked to be compensated in some form or shape. And a part of me does regret not doing it for free for her wedding as well.
Yeah.
Because it'd be nice to be part of,
But it was a lot of product. I mean, even for just the engagement, it was a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it was, and we got great content out of it. We got the opportunity to give her, feed her some of our stuff.
Yeah.
But we didn't do the wedding because I would have really liked to be paid now. One of these.
I am shocked. I'm sorry, but I know I shouldn't be.
It's the celebrities are the ones who want the maximum free stuff because they feel like they can demand that. And while Alana Pandey, she's built an incredible, social media page with really good ROI on her whatever pictures, posts, reels. So I understand the influencer industry it's a thriving business. So I understand where she's also coming from, and I'm not upset or anything about that. My only thing was that we would have liked to be paid, so we declined the offer. But other celebrity clients have, they pay on time. Some of them pay on time. We have, some vegan clients like Ritesh, Tikshmukh and Pujalia. They're both, they're vegan. They order from us quite often. Of course, we would love to do, more celebrities.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult to coordinate. We've done gifting for Manish Malhotra once. We work with Dior. We work with Kate Spade, Bali. A lot of these luxury brands, Hamleys.
I saw your collaboration with Papa Don't Preach.
How much preach? Yeah, that was
so beautiful.
Thank you so much. That was, definitely my dream collaboration. It didn't go the way I expected, but I was also free, by the way.
Oh my god.
How much free product have you given?
Imagine a lot. I wanted to be associated with a brand like Papa Don't Preach, and I do feel like they could have done a bit more justice to our collaboration.
Yeah.
But to be associated with a brand that believes in such, similar values as us, they're also on vegan. In case anybody, doesn't know that, their shoes, bags, everything is vegan.
Nice.
The leather they use is plant-based. The silk they use is ahimsa silk or your vegan silk. They do so much for their karikars, cancer screenings, eye checkups, COVID tests, rations. They really go all out with taking care of their team, fair wages, all of that. So that's again why when people ask Rebecca, why are you so expensive?
Yeah.
There's an entire list of why, and it's exactly why we are also priced higher. I wouldn't say we're expensive, but we are priced higher than the general patisseries like your Theobroma and Love 15 and whatnot. We are definitely priced higher than them. So I think Papa Don't Preach is one of the greatest brands really changing the game. And I'm so happy to be associated with them. And I just wish the collaboration went a little better. But it was fun, curating something for a brand that was my dream collaboration.
Wow.
And now that's done. Now I have other dream collaborations.
Love that, man. I'm sure that the minute it was done, you were like, okay, what's next? What's next?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah. Manifestation really works, but you have to do it the right way. You can't just be like, God, give me whatever I want. No, you have to be like, okay, I want, let's say, Dior. I really wanted Dior. And out of nowhere, I don't even remember how they contacted us and now my next thing is Louis Vuitton. I want to work with these bigger fashion houses, especially the ones that use leather and stuff, to be able to give them vegan, to sneak in that veganism a little bit into their, work.
Correct. I think people tend to forget that veganism is not just a diet, it's a lifestyle. Exactly.
Like Louis Vuitton does so much gifting. All these big brands do so much gifting. Valentine's Day, all of these, Diwali, everything, their store launches, collection launches.
Yeah.
I would love to do gifting for such big fashion houses and want Ottaway to be a mix of food and fashion, or marriage of food and fashion.
Yeah. Your two favorite things.
Yeah, my two favorite things. And I am now just hoping that we could get more fashion houses and brands versus celebrities. I don't care so much about the celebrity clients.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in working with brands because that's again a larger impact.
Right. What is your take of veganism in daily life?
So I used to be like super hardcore when I first started.
Yeah.
And that is something about me where I like to go to the extreme and try to be like a perfectionist. And that's something I've been working on over the last few years to, not be like that.
Yeah.
I think when I started, I was super hardcore. I wanted to be the bestest, baddest vegan I could ever be. To the point where I was, I used to go to these farmers markets so far away so I could purchase like directly from these small farmers and everything from handmade tofu, like small batch tofu to, oil, fruits and vegetables, to making my own like creams and lotions and makeup and face products. And I used to use coconuts instead of packaged soap.
Yeah.
So I went to an extreme trying to be like a super hippie kind of vegan because I felt like that would be the best for the planet and the animals. But living in a metro city, in a place like London and now Bombay, it was nearly impossible for me to be like that, and I would beat myself up over it when I couldn't be. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I went for a wedding in to Thailand, and it wasn't as vegan friendly as it is now. So I was staying in a resort, all expenses paid. It was a wedding. Menu was already set. There was nothing. I lived on watermelon and French fries for 3 days. I literally fainted. And my sister was like, fuck it, just eat the pizza. And I was crying and eating that pizza. I was like, oh my god, I'm not eating that anymore. And she was like, Naimita, you will not be alive anymore. Just eat the bloody pizza.
Shit.
And it was a basic cheese pizza. But I was like, no, I can't. And I was starving. I was literally dying.
Watermelon and fries is like...
I mean, I didn't like dragon fruit. They had dragon fruit. I didn't like that. So I was eating just watermelon. And I think that's all they had. And they had like so much non-veg, and even the vegetarian stuff had like fish oil or dairy, cheese, stuff like that. And the hotel was not ready to make things, they were like, everything has been paid for, blah blah, there's no room service. I don't know what kind of wedding this was. So and I was so conscious because everybody was like making fun of me, and like go be vegan, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I felt like I had to stick to it just to prove them wrong, and I would have died. Like I was starving, I was like cranky all the time because I just was never full. I was going to sleep hungry, I was waking up hungry, I couldn't sleep, I was just living on like literally fruits. I don't know how these fruitarians do it. I wanted to obviously be the best I could, but that made me realize that maybe the best I can be doesn't have to be, 100% in everything. So I, over the years, definitely relaxed my views. I started tasting, when I started Gaia, I started tasting non-vegan patisserie, non-vegan desserts and some food items so I could understand like flavors, because I was never in the food industry.
Correct.
I didn't know what a macaron was supposed to taste like because I hadn't eaten one in so many years. And I never liked them. And they were too eggy for me, Even like cheesecake, flan, all of that I never enjoyed all of that. And then when I became vegan, when I started Gaia, I was like, okay, I've been vegan for so many years. What the hell does a cheesecake taste like?
Yeah.
What does a macaron taste like? So I relaxed my views. I would, go out and eat all these desserts. I would order them home. And I would really like try to understand the flavors and stuff and kind of replicate them. But somewhere out, my parents or my friends or someone would be like, okay, so you're not really vegan. You're only vegan that's convenient. And that really got to me, and then over time, I would get all these like, gifts and stuff from different brands. All my friends are chefs. They would send me things like, Naimita, can you taste this? That tell me, can I release this product? And I'm like, no, I can't eat that. And I used to feel really bad because I'm not going and killing one animal, So I did start relaxing my views a little bit. I would start tasting things when, my friends would send me things or they would invite me to their restaurants or whatever. I would start trying things, and I feel like that made me improve my relationship with food. And for someone like me who had, I don't want to say this, but in a way like an eating disorder,
Yeah.
where I was obsessed with being healthy. Like that is actually a eating disorder. I forgot the name for it. Yeah,
It definitely
It is one, yeah.
fiber-based thing.
Completely fucked up my health in my quest to be healthy, taking all these supplements, continuously eating so many greens. It really ruined my gut health.
Yeah.
And because I just wasn't able to digest these things in my body, I wasn't listening to my body. I was listening to the world around me saying, you have to do this, you have to eat salads, you have to eat greens every day, you have to eat this and that, and you drink almond milk. I had the worst stomach when I would drink almond milk.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, okay, if I have to be a good vegan, I have to drink almond milk. But I could have drank some other milk, coconut or whatever,
Yeah.
But it just made me feel like I'm not good enough. So I think doing what works best for you made a huge difference to my lifestyle and made me have a better relationship with food and be a better eater, if that is a word. And I started, allowing my chefs to bring non-veg into the kitchen or bring like dairy into the kitchen. And there's a separate pantry where like my kitchen was 100% vegan. And my team was like, then you have to provide us food because our parents can't make separate meals for us or whoever's there home cooking. So then I realized that, it's not right for me to inconvenience them. So either I provide meals and take my cost up, or I, build a separate pantry for them, which is completely detached from the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they do their meals and their tea and everything there. And if you take away tea from an Indian, they will kill you.
You can't exist.
You can't exist, they'll kill you. And we started making vegan tea, and they weren't able to like it. And I guess as vegans, I put like 1 kilo of cardamom in my tea. So it tastes amazing. But I couldn't do that in the bakery.
Yeah.
So they make tea. I'm using dairy-based milk, again in their detached pantry. We have a separate washing area, so nothing touches our bakery stuff. You have separate cups, separate spoons, separate gas, separate everything. So I did some things like that were beneficial to the business and to me and my values, and it was win-win for them as well. And overall, from my learning of this was, you can't force somebody to follow your views, but you can inspire them. So my way of doing that was, cooking like tofu or things like that really well. I used to make seitan a lot. I used to make all these different kinds of breads during COVID, and my parents would love eating my weird experiments, but they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell them that my pound cake is made with blended up tofu instead of eggs.
Yeah.
And vegan coconut yogurt. And they love the cake. They love the product. So subconsciously, in their mind, they are thinking, okay, I'm eating something vegan and it tastes good. But consciously, they're just enjoying the meal without me saying, you have to be vegan. So they, that's a more direct example. And I think veganism in a holistic way has always been very scary. It's been very like attacky and, kind of CrossFit. And people are, I remember, people would, when someone would ask me like, oh, would you like to try this? Or they would offer me something, at events, like someone would be like, oh, you want to try my dip? Like someone's sauce brand. And I'm like, oh, no, thank you. I don't want to try that. Or they say, oh, why? Or try this, or try that. So I'm like, no, I don't eat dairy. Oh, you're vegan? Okay, I could never be. I didn't ask you if you can be or not.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you. But immediately they would be like defensive. Or someone would say, oh, Gaia, so does that mean you're vegan? And I would say, yeah, I'm plant-based, I don't consume dairy. Or they'll offer me something and say, oh, but you must be vegan, right? You don't eat chicken. I could never do that. Okay, then don't. Like, I never asked you to do it.
Yeah.
But subconsciously, people know somewhere that and somebody is dying for your meal, but they can't make that step because it's very overwhelming. You feel like, I'll have to give up everything that I know, bags, makeup, shoes. I'll have to give up my whole diet, my whole lifestyle, my whey protein, my chai, my this, my that. I love cheese. So eat cheese, but maybe replace your milk with some plant-based milk. But you can keep eating cheese.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat cheese? Okay, fine. You can be completely dairy-free and eat eggs. You could be pescatarian and dairy-free. Like there are, I think a bad vegan or an imperfect vegan is better than not attempting that. You know what I mean?
The same thing we were discussing, right? Like even if you try one meal 1 week, in a week, one meal, you try to change something in that, like you don't realize, but that's a huge impact.
Statistically, one animal per day per person dies. So there are over 70 to 80 billion land animals. Now marine animals are over 100 billion.
Correct.
Because the fish are like so small and the ocean obviously much larger. So many marine animals die from your like whales, sharks, turtles, walruses, dolphins. They all get caught in the fishing net and they're all the bycatch.
Yeah.
So they get caught. They die because they've been taken out of the water, and then the fishermen throw them back in the water, but they're already dead, So, and the fishing net also goes back in the water.
Yeah.
So, if your goal is reducing plastic and your goal is reducing impact, you as a singular person can't, as a singular person, you can't stop the animal agriculture industry.
Of course not.
But you on a personal level can be one person who makes it better, and if one person does it, inspires 10 people, and the compounded effect of maybe 100,000 people who you have touched in some form or shape, reduce it. It's better than complete elimination, because complete elimination will never happen. It will never happen. So rather than telling everyone you have to be fully vegan to have a greater impact, rather I would say, why don't you do 2 days in a week completely vegan? Or you have all your lunches vegan and you eat non-veg in dinner, but all your lunches can be vegan, and all your tea and smoothies can be made plant-based. It's a better step than scaring them into a crazy lifestyle that they may not be able to maintain.
Exactly, like going cold turkey. I mean, I did that, and I
tried to go cold turkey.
Till date, like anyone who asks me, even say it's very similar to you, like I just completed 7 years, and I do not recommend that to anybody. I tell everyone, please take your time. You start by eliminating one product, over months. Take your time. But don't go cold turkey. It's not good for yourself. It's not.
And it shocks your body, and your body's like, where's my nutrition?
Yeah.
And you have to do the research to know, okay, I'm cutting this out. What should I, replenish my body with? Like, it's so important, and it just gets lost. Like, no one does that because, the same, like the passion that comes in overlooks everything else. And I think it's a very important thing to talk about. Like, to even acknowledge that this is, in my opinion, it is a problem.
It is a problem.
It's a very problem.
That's why there are so many ex-vegans.
Yeah. Because
they probably didn't do it sustainably. Like I know so many people who are raw vegan.
Yeah.
And now they're not vegan at all. But if they did it sustainably, maybe you could have been flexitarian or kind of plant-based, or plant-forward, or whatever is the new word. What I did was I eliminated red meat first, and I was eating eggs, chicken. I had eliminated dairy already for like a year before that. And then I made all my breakfast vegan, with like a almond or soy-based granola, a soy-based yogurt with a, vegan granola, and maple syrup instead of honey and all of that. Now I was living in the UK. So it's very easy to do that. Then I started taking vegan and eating vegan lunches. Then I started, I said, okay, I'll stop fish. I'll just be pescatarian. I'll just be eating eggs.
Yeah.
Then I stopped eggs, but I was still craving fish because I wasn't feeling satiated. So I continued eating fish. And then one day, the smell of the fish, I was like, okay, this thing used to be alive.
Yeah.
And I wasn't able to eat fish.
The egg.
And the egg, it just randomly came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
For salmon, and salmon was my favorite. And then I was like, there's no way I can eat that. And then I just realized slowly over the course of 3 months, I just became vegan. Because I got the egg for everything.
Got it.
But you took your time. You took 3 months is also like, people can take longer, but
still didn't work for me so much, because I was so used to eating so much meat that when I started eating high fiber plant proteins like lentils, beans, and chickpeas, all of that, and tofu, it just ruined my gut health. It was so difficult to digest these things.
Yeah.
And I was like, my stomach was really bad. I was extremely bloated. I did something wrong in the transition. And obviously over time, I fixed that.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still not 100%. But it took me time and professional help to figure out what works for my body.
Right.
So yeah. It's not easy, Some people it just works. Yeah. Some people thrive on this diet and lifestyle. And for someone like me who loves this lifestyle and diet, and who I love the concept of veganism, I just don't think it's possible on a large scale for everybody to be able to do that without institutional and government support. Reduce the cost of vegetables, reduce the cost of beans, make these kinds of products accessible to everyone, and encourage this lifestyle rather than subsidizing meat, eggs, and dairy.
Exactly.
Encourage this lifestyle, and then you will see more people adopting it, in a day-to-day way. Like, no one goes to McDonald's to have a salad or a sandwich.
Yeah.
But why can't we do that?
We can do anything.
Exactly.
It's
The
just-
sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Come on, look at us. We're making macarons which are 25% eggs. We're making them without eggs.
Yeah.
Anything is possible,
I agree.
So I just think veganism can be possible with institutional and governmental help.
I agree.
I think we've delved into a lot of things that I really wanted to. But is there anything else that you want to sort of end today's?
No, I think we've covered
Educational
so many
podcast.
things. I think you want to get 2 podcasts out of this. This is not one. I really enjoy my time talking to you about my views and opinions, and I hope, this inspires people and makes them understand that, anything is possible with veganism. You can truly have it all.
Yeah.
You can do burgers, pizzas, you can do everything. There's not a single thing that hasn't been made. And I hope that inspires people to try to incorporate more plant-based foods into their lifestyle, incorporate sustainability within their businesses in some form or shape.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the absolute 100%.
No one can be. It's by
Exactly.
you exist on this planet, so you cannot be absolute. By breathing or existing, you are already causing enough damage.
Do the best within your means and limits.
Exactly.
So, okay, on that note, we have to end with something lighter because we've gone all over the place. Yeah. So, this brings me to my favorite part, which is we start with the rapid fire, like a vegan version or sustainable version, let's say, that's more apt. And then we have what we've named a 1-word game. We'll get into that later. Okay, so rules of the rapid fire. I'll ask you a question. I need an answer back within 5 seconds. 5 seconds. And try to keep it as short as possible. Okay. It's not easy, but try. Okay? Okay, your first question. Which vegan dessert that you've made is your personal favorite?
This should be easy. Passion fruit and coconut entree and the raspberry macaron.
Wow, okay, that was easy. One fruit you can eat for the rest of your life.
Coconut.
Coconut is a fruit? I guess it is, yeah.
Okay, it's not coconut, then mango.
Mango, okay. One tip for anyone looking to start a vegan bakery?
All the ingredients are available. All you need to do is a bit of research.
Love that. Okay. One book / movie / show that impacted you the most. Could be in anything.
This Is Us. It's a TV show on Prime, I think.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that show is amazing.
What did it impact you with? That's a follow-up question, not.
Just the learnings, style of communication, the way the siblings and the parents communicated, the level of introspection that went into understanding each other's feelings and growth that came from that. It really made me feel like, I wish we as a society could inculcate that. Yeah, because we as a society really lack communication skills.
Very true.
Really.
Okay, your last question. So what's one sustainable hack that you follow every day? It's a daily no-brainer for you.
Try to find a 3-in-1 skincare.
You're doing that? Oh, you already do that, or you're constantly looking every day?
I have started. So I used to use a little longer answer. I used to use a hydrating spray, toner, serum, moisturizer, and then sunscreen. And now I found a toner, moisturizer, and serum all in one.
Okay.
That is, I've reduced my plastic and I've limited to from 3 products to 1.
Yeah.
And it's an all vegan brand.
Right.
I can't talk about it yet.
Are you kidding
Because
me?
the founder has sent this to us, to CEOs, to introduce and test out a new product made for this fast-paced, working women.
Okay.
But the brand is called Skin Vest.
Okay.
Invest in your skin.
Wow.
And I'm obsessed with all their products. They really work I would say, in a sustainable way.
Okay, so this has given me another question. What's your favorite sustainable fashion brand?
I love Terra Luna. I'm wearing them right now. The material, the fit, everything's amazing. And this other brand called And Ever Never, AEAE,
Okay.
on Instagram. I recently discovered them. It's by two friends of mine, one customer and one friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I've not discovered them. They've just launched, so I've just started shopping from them. I've just bought one thing, but they make silk out of orange peel.
Wow.
It is freaking amazing. They use hemp, they use orange peel, they use, broken wood chips and stuff. And they really, everything is traceable. Everything.
That's awesome. We have to check out these brands. So the last segment is the one word game. Rules of the game. I give you one word. You have to give me the first word that pops into your mind in 3 seconds. Ready? Tense music is playing. Okay. First word, baking.
Gaia.
Okay. Farmer.
Cafe.
Okay,
Cafe. Ethics. Don't exist in most places.
Too many words, but okay, fine. Vegan.
Earth Cafe.
Oh my god, this is a walking, talking advertisement right here.
Sorry. Whenever I think of I want to eat something vegan, I think of Earth Cafe first.
Okay, pink.
Naimita.
Okay, that brings us to the end. I hope you had a great time, Naimita, because I have had such an amazing time today.
So have I. I've had really, really good time. It was so much fun talking to you about all of this.
I can't wait to get you back maybe for edition 2 when you
So much fun.
When you launch all the
When you
new
open
things.
the outlet,
Yeah.
you should come to our outlet and
Say
you
less.
should do like
Say
a
less. I will be there.
I will be there. If I am here, I will definitely be there.
So I'm going to New York.
Okay, anyway. Thank you so much, Naimita.